Alternative data show growth stumble on fresh fears. This right here, you can see we're looking at the US and Japan and Germany and France and so on. So March timeframe, of course, everything dropped. Others started to rebound rather quickly and others not so much. But you can see how it started to round out. And this information goes all the way into present day. So it just gives you an idea of how things are starting to slow down again. I guess the lockdowns having an effect. The different borders have been shut down. Certain industries been shutting down again. Others, though, have been opening up. But you can see in general what has happened on a country level. The world's largest advanced economies recovered very slowly after the holiday slump amid the different issues that have been going on, containment measures and so on. Compared to a year ago, economic activity, alternative data gauges showing integrate measures such as mobility, energy consumption, and public transport was significantly lower. The reason I show you this is because it's always that second level, third level type information to me that is more telling than any U3 unemployment rate or anything like that. The cost of shipping a container of goods has risen by 80% since early November and has nearly tripled over the past year. This, of course, has an impact on the bottom line of the company. The company has to increase prices. So this is the type of thing that we are seeing today. They discuss why. There are many reasons why. I don't think that you should be putting one thing into it, but certainly the result of this has been higher prices. And that's been going on for quite some time. We've been seeing that. It's not because there's suddenly all this demand and so on. No, there are many factors here, and this is just one of those. And I'm seeing it right now. I will keep you up to date on everything to do with shipping as time goes on. Many retail locations have been closing. I've been covering that for you here. And this is another chain, Godiva, closing all or selling all of its stores in the United States and Canada. There are, I think it was like 120 something stores all being closed down. And this is just another company that has had to obviously get rid of a lot of these employees. And, I don't know what they're going to do with all this empty commercial real estate and office space. I really don't know, but none of that is being priced in whatsoever. I'll tell you right now. 4 times as many jobs were lost last year as during the worst part of the global financial crisis in 2009. I think we largely expected that to be the case, but now the statistics are here just showing you that. This has been the most severe crisis for the world since the Great Depression of the 1930s. Its impact is far greater than that of the global financial crisis of 2009. It's truly unbelievable to see it on a global scale what has happened. We never, ever have all come down at the same time. And of course, this was due to certain things that they shut down the stores, they shut down the roads, they shut down the airlines, basically everything was shut down. So it was kind of forced in this way. But just to see it statistically and how a year later we're still going on with this. And I don't know how a lot of these businesses, I don't know how a lot of these individuals will make it out on the other side. Here you can see this article talking about the widening gap in between the haves and the have-nots. It could take more than a decade to reduce the number of people living in poverty back to pre-crisis levels. Meanwhile, the collective wealth of the world's richest had rose, believe it or not, $3.9 trillion between March and December 2020 to reach $12 trillion. I mean, unbelievable. The 10 richest men saw their net worth increase by $540 billion in the same period. You could see what's been happening here. And this is all thanks to the policies put in place by the governments and the central banks. U.S. suffers sharpest rise in poverty rate in more than 50 years. Not going to get into the issue. I mean, I think it's pretty clear here. We are seeing a massive spike, and what they're going to do, from what I understand, is they're going to expand the food stamp program to a great degree. I'll bring in the stats when those come out. We don't know what's going to get passed, what's not going to get passed, but certainly right now, a lot of people are hurting, and we are seeing this on all different levels. The pain has yet to be felt, though. What we've seen 2020 leading up to today, I think is nothing, because everything has been pushed back, and the further you push this back, the worse the problem unfortunately gets, and we'll have to deal with that at some point. This is interconnected with that information and ultimately saying that we stand to witness the greatest rise in inequality since the records began. This is terrible and it's unfortunate for so many people. And what exactly is the solution? That's right. We're going to tax a bunch of people. We're going to tax them so that they can pay the bills. But ultimately, when you look at how much waste has been accumulated over this period, I think that that should be addressed. Number one, first and foremost, look at where the waste has been going. All of these, not just 1 year, but look at what's been happening over decades and decades and decades, and you start to see much, much bigger numbers than simply putting a tax on a few rich guys and trying to take their money, when meanwhile we can be getting way, way more capital and actual investment capital that is productive and actually do good things for people instead of funneling that money back through the government, wasting it again. Oh my goodness, there's so much better ideas out there than what we're dealing with today. The office market in San Francisco is even worse than New York's, and that's something hard to beat right now, I'm telling you. Rent expected to fall with tech employees working from home. Companies looking to trim costs are reevaluating their space. This is happening in a lot of different places, but certainly we are looking at these two as being the focal point, San Francisco and New York. Rent and occupancy will likely drop 22% in San Francisco in 2021, the largest decline in the US as technology companies embrace remote work. And that, of course, just shows you what's been happening as a result of all of this. We probably will see the trend continue. And if that's the case, so maybe 30% of the people will stay at home and 70% will eventually go back to work, but that means 30% less real estate needed. What's going to happen to all of that real estate? Well, you tell me. One of the aspects of the waste, this is an example from the PPP loans, and I've shown you multiple before. This happens to be a man who used $2 million in relief for a Bentley, Tesla, and Las Vegas condos. So this guy got caught, and the others I showed you, they got caught as well. How many people didn't get caught? How many businesses went this route? They got forgivable loans in many of these cases, and they're scot-free. I'm sure there are many examples of it. We're talking about companies that are massive, okay? And they really did not need a loan, but because they could take one, they did so. Some of them were sort of pressured and they reversed course and they gave the money back. But we're talking about forgivable loans for a lot of these places, people, and so they did it. And, that's the kind of thing that, in my opinion, is rather wasteful. But, you get a couple situations like this where they say, well, we're going to burn these people. These couple people, okay, they're going to be in trouble. But I think the vast majority of them probably just get away with it. And that's taxpayer dollars going to waste. That's all for this video. If you found it informative, hit that thumbs up button. When you do, you're supporting me. I want to thank you for that. If you click that button on your screen, you help me out. Thank you. If you want to learn about e-commerce, you're interested in selling things online, you just want to know what this whole thing is about, this is the free way to do it. I created this course for you as my subscriber to hopefully reduce the amount of hatred towards me on my channel that absolutely did not work. But hey, you can just take advantage of the free course. Check it out, the AmazonGPS.com. If you want to learn about the financial system, top to bottom, A to Z, I got the 2 books you got to read. Check them out at the link in the description. And if you want the audiobook, it's available at themoneygps.com. But hang on, hold on, don't go anywhere. Have you seen this video yet? A lot of detail, definitely want to check it out. Click it, I'll see you there.